Hello, welcome to Lackless Reactions. I'm your Lackless Reactor, here today for an episode of Ishura. Last week we had the pitch battle between our bandit and the spider, as well as technical difficulties I hope I won't have to deal with again this week. And this week we continue on with the fight. So, with that being said, let's get started. Nope, almost didn't start the timer. Let me just stop it for a second to get the time closer. Okay. Yes. We're having a war between two sides. We have the city states basically in trouble at the moment after everything that's happened. And we had the battle against Spider. But yeah, the battle, even though it was interrupted multiple times by technical difficulties, the battle against the Spider was great. I very much enjoyed how our bandits managed to pick a lock with a poison dagger, and that lock being the nervous system of the spider. So that was really entertaining. But also, what happened last week was the world would move into a more neutral position on the sides. Her goal being to protect the city because of what she perceives the situation to be, which it's not. But she's going to try to stop the killing. We have to see how far that goes, but as for where we currently are now, we had again, we're not much of a different position than last week. Sure, the spider has been neutralized, which was the main forward, the destructive force, but as for the city states, they only have two heroes remaining. Most of their soldiers have been slaughtered, and everyone has basically retreated, so they are still at a massive disadvantage. But either way, let's see where we are now. Oh yeah, and the super weapon's also in the World Wars group's hands, so it's not like that can be relied on by Lithia anymore either. Well, so yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, good luck. Not even close. Where does she live? So he isn't dead, but he's dying. But so the question is, will we get a monologue after this? If we do, then the spider's still alive, despite being beheaded. How? Ah, that was her meant to stall runner. His collection. His collecting of treasures, and he was worried about his treasure being taken. Yeah, you don't know what you're saying. A crime to protect a friend. You're gonna have to shoot her. Yeah, not going out alone. They were together as the last of both of their kind, and now they're together in death. Now what about you? Which way did the bullets go? Who was the one who shot? Was it the Star Runner? That would make sense when that in the end the general wouldn't have been able to pull the trigger, despite how large he talks. And it was the Star Runner who saved him in the end. The one thing that went by quickly, but I don't want to gloss over, is she admitted that she knew she was secretly passing along information to the enemy. So what does that mean? Why was she doing what she did? Yes. Oh. Yes. Okay. So we didn't have the dialogue with their death, so there's still a decent chance that the sweater's dead. Though again, they could pull a trick at the end, but fair. Hmm. Well, that's an interesting piece of information. It means that there's no guarantee that the Demon Lord is actually dead. And the question of who the hero was that killed them also is a complete question mark because we don't even know if they actually killed him. Ah, there's your punch. He's terrible at making other people feel satisfied. Oh, this looks like a fight. Yeah. Cut what you couldn't cut. But you defeated what he wanted to defeat. Yes. Okay, so the original world was post-apocalypse or post-war. Well, that is if they're from the same altered world, but well, except for the people who actually are those people. Fair. Even if it's misplaced, it's still there and it still needs to be released somehow. Fair. Just because it always goes first doesn't mean somebody can't go at the same time, which they just explained, but now what? That didn't draw blood. Right. Just like a real sword fight. Over in less than a minute. We got a few interesting details out of that battle. First, it's his technique. It's not the sword. The sword is blunted and broken. So, any credits? The sword is blunted and broken, so it's not able to cut anything itself. It's not an enchanted sword. It's all the Yagyu's techniques, which is allowing him to surpass others. But yeah, no, that was actually an interesting battle when you remember what both of them were specialized in. He's a bandit, but Yagyu, his specialty is turning his opponent's weapons against themselves. So in the end, they both, in essence, use, well, not in essence, in actuality, used each other's blades against each other, but in the end, it came down to the fact of the quality of the blade, which, again, Yagyu, his blade is in a word crap. He's been cutting things not with the power of his blade, but with his own incredible skills. Well, our bandit, has an amazing magical sword, which has been giving him advantages, but when it turned against him, he had no defense against it, and nothing stopping it from cutting through him. So, but yeah, as opposed to a long drawn sword out, sure, interesting to know. Anyway, as opposed to a long drawn sword fight, we got what amounted to a few slashes, which that's how it actually goes in real life. You don't get drawn out fights. If it's not over in the first slash, it's over in the second slash. So, but anyway, that's it for this week's episode. I hope you all enjoyed watching this episode, and I hope you all have a good upcoming week, and I look forward to next week's episode, and hope I see all of you, well, some of you show up again next time. You know, for as much as I do this, I'm not sure why I mess up my random outro half the time. But anyway, take care.